What is up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about which units to build to invest in preparation for Arcane. Now, information on Arcane team building kind of varies. We don't have a lot of information out just yet. It feels like she has a lot of potential. She might be the ultimate potential character, but that's actually good. But first of all, this video is going to focus on Arcane as a main DPS. Arcane as a sub DPS is going to be like a bit different, so won't be focusing on that just yet. But Arcane main DPS seems to be a bit more straightforward in what she wants. If you already don't know, Arcane, her playstyle is going to be, you want to get her combo skill first. Her combo skill is going to require nature infliction or 2 non-nature infliction. So the team that they showcased, they showed that they use like 2 heat infliction to trigger Arcane combo skill. And after Arcane combo skill, you do Arcane battle skill, and then you do ultimate, and then you just press buttons, and then things go kaboom. So back to looking at the live stream, they already showed us a demonstration using Wolfguard, Sahi, and Akikuri. So these 3 are already confirmed the characters that can work with Arcane. And I also came across this Reddit note post that also offered another team, which is not all that different, but it's also using Wolfguard, Gilberta, and Camille. So if you have these characters, that could be even better, but you know, right now it's not tested out yet. I'm just getting this random information, but it seems like it could work. But let's go over the characters that have like showed up twice, which is Wolfguard. Now, initially, I didn't really understand why Wolfguard is like a good teammate for Arcane. You might be thinking that he's like a heat infliction, and like doesn't like Arcane like apply cryo and nature susceptibility. So Wolfguard, his entire purpose is for one thing. It's his combo skill. He basically gives a one free heat infliction after another arts infliction. So if you apply heat infliction, you get 2 heat infliction like for free. And how they use it is they use Akikuri. Over here, everyone has Akikuri. She's like a 4-star. Use her skill to apply heat infliction, then use Wolfguard to apply skill heat infliction. Now you got 2, because 1 plus 1 equals 2. Heat infliction, you get Arcane combo skill, and then you can just do your thing afterwards. And then Sahi is there just above Arcane damage, because Sahi, if you don't know, she's a buffer, but she's a cryo buffer, but also she also have nature amplification, which is actually quite rare, not a lot. I think she's the only characters that really buff nature. So there's that. And if you already play a cryo team, you should already have like a Sahi kind of build. You don't need to do too much. Obviously you want to level up ultimate. That's the most important part. The rest can be just whatever. Probably don't need any of these anyway. Probably you can level up her skill for some healing, so you get some sustain. So if you're like a complete free to play, you don't have Gilberta, you don't have Camille. The 3 free to play team that they just show you is going to be Wolfguard, Sahi, and Akikuri. And remember what Akikuri does. She basically just gives you free SP when you get the stagger, and then her ultimate also gives you free SP. Her skill gives you heat infliction, which helps Wolfguard. So Akikuri, Wolfguard, them together do one thing. Sahi buffed the element damage, which is going to be nature, to help Arcane. So out of all of these, which one is the most important? I would say I don't think Wolfguard is that important, but like right now I can't think of any other characters that like really apply like free infliction really well. I thought Fluorite might be good because she just applies her combo skill is really good, but you need like 2 stacks of like cryo or nature. Then she only applies like the 3rd one, so it's free, but like not really. You need to get 2 to get 1. It's like buy 2 free 1. Wolfguard is like buy 1 free 1. Antle can also work too. He also gives you a free infliction, but you need to use his skill point first. You need to use the battle skill first. And also you would probably want nature infliction, so you might need to use arcane battle skill first, which might like mess up the rotation a bit. So that's why they're using like Wolfguard as an example. But we're probably going to be fine. We're going to find like another like free infliction character anyway. So I think the most recommended one singular character I recommend to build is Sahi. Sahi is going to immediately buff your arcane damage, so start with her, then go to Wolfguard and Agakuri. And if you're just playing for Arcane, you don't need to level up too much. I mean, if you play CC, you probably already have Wolfguard somewhat built. But Wolfguard, you barely need to build anything. You just need the combo skill. You don't even need any of the damage. Wolfguard just needs to exist and have some HP, and don't even all these support characters don't even need any like damage or HP. They just need to exist. just Wolfguard, Akikuri, and Zaihi. And then we'll move on to like the more 6-star option that some of you might have. Another one is going to be Gilberta. So Gilberta, she's a nature. It's kind of obvious they might work with each other. She also has susceptibility with her ultimate. It's basically like free susceptibility. She also applies nature infliction as well with her ultimate. Her skill is just kind of whatever. Her combo skill is whatever. It's one of the combo skill of all time. Her battle skill is also really good. It helps group them up, so you can maybe like group. You can do like first Gilberta grouping because her grouping is like slower and longer. And then after that, do arcane grouping, so it's just maximum grouping, especially with like AoE content. The only problem is that it takes some time. And like enemies can like run out of it, especially if it's like a single target boss, so that's not the best. And then up next, surprisingly, Camille works as like a sub DPS. Because if you remember, Camille basically works in every team that uses Akikuri. And if you have Camille, which I feel like most of the people at my channel is probably going to have, he can replace Akikuri. So how you actually play it is that you first use Camille's battle skill to apply heat infliction. Then after you get it, you will get Wolfguard, a combo skill to apply heat infliction. And then after that, you're going to use Arcane. Then Arcane is going to take away the heat infliction, probably with her nature infliction. I don't think she like consume heat infliction. I think she uses her own nature infliction to like apply onto the heat infliction to create corrosion. So that means heat infliction is consumed. That means, and that equals Camille combo skill comes out, and then you get to... And then that's just Camille gameplay loop coming out. So Camille battle skill, then afterwards you will get Camille combo skill, and then afterwards you'll get his ult. The only problem is that Arcane doesn't do any heat damage, so any like heat buffs from like Camille is kind of just wasted. I mean, there is Wolfguard, so they do a bit of damage. If this team probably performs slightly better than like the Akikuri and the Wolfguard one, so that's good. And just in case you don't have Gilberta, you can just use Zaihi. I feel like a lot of people might not have Gilberta. And then there's just also one more added reason that are probably getting Arcane because they don't have Gilberta. So a good team for most of y'all would be Wolfguard, Zaihi, and Camille. A bit of mix and matching from this written note post. So other than that, let's look at each character one by one and see. The only character that I don't have is Rosie. And Rosie probably does not have any synergy with Arcane. So Arcane, you just have to think, right? All Cryo and Nature characters probably work with Arcane as a main DPS. As a sub DPS, she actually works with quite some other characters, even working with like Levitain. So she works with most. The only character I think she doesn't work with are like physical teams or like physical characters, because her kit has nothing to do with like vulnerability. And also she doesn't have like heat damage with like Rosie, I think, so can't really do crazy things like that. So you can go ahead and cross out most of the physical characters. So let's start one by one. Starting with Yvonne. Yvonne works with Arcane, and like you can even play from the live stream, they play Arcane as like the main DPS, and then Yvonne is the one that like throws the battle skill. But when you ult with Yvonne, I think Yvonne will be forcibly played as the controlled operator. I don't think she can be like ulting and then be off field, right? Yeah, her ultimate needs her to be the controlled operator. I mean, it'll force you to become the control operator. Don't know how that will work in like contingency contract. I think it just works a bit differently in there. I remember like Zhongfangyi ultimate form being used there. So Yvonne definitely works probably in both like main DPS and sub DPS Arcane. But with the Arcane team, because Arcane definitely applies nature infliction, it just helps Yvonne. Because you remember, Yvonne actually also uses nature infliction to consume, and then she'll build her ult charge, it'll trigger her combo skill and whatever, and then you'll get Yvonne ult. Getting Yvonne ult equals getting damage. So next character, Tang Tang. If you have Tang Tang might actually go really crazy with Arcane. So Tang Tang, she applies, you know, her thing is just cryo tornadoes everywhere. She reduces art sus as well. So I think Tang Tang might be one of the biggest support for Arcane if you have her. I mean, if you already have Tang Tang, you probably already have her built for like Yvonne. But if you have Tang Tang and you don't have a team for her yet, Arcane probably works with her. Not much testing and demonstration seen yet, but I will test it out ASAP. Zaihi, 100% a good character for her. Gilberta, very good. Camille, very good. Levitain can actually work as like a main DPS for Arcane sub DPS. I know I said that won't be talking too much about Arcane support, but they definitely do work with each other, so it's not a waste. Zhuang Fangyi, I don't know. But it probably worked with like sub DPS Arcane. Probably doesn't do too much with main DPS Arcane. Enmin, probably no, he does. He just consumes vulnerability. Wolfguard is really good for his combo skill. Other than his combo skill, doesn't really have much that like helps Arcane. But his combo skill is probably one of the best for like getting like free infliction. Perlica actually works with like a lot of teams, as you know, but she might also be pretty good for Arcane. But like in terms of free to play options, you already have like Wolfguard, Saihi, and Ake Curry. Don't know how Perlica would fit, but I'm guessing they probably can work. I mean, Perlica works with every single person ever. Chun, physical character, probably she applies vulnerability. Doesn't really do much for Arcane. Li Feng, physical sus, doesn't do much for Arcane. Partner Rishne, physical Vanguard, doesn't do much for Arcane. Last Right, I've not seen really anyone play this character in a while. But there are like some character loyalists that actually just plays this character solo for a contingency contract. I think it could work, but like Arcane, I think Arcane just like applies a lot of like nature and then make it turn into corrosion. I don't think you'll have enough like cryo infliction for Last Right. Because Last Right is all about cryo infliction, right? I don't think she also takes nature infliction like Yvonne, so might not be very good at working with Arcane, but could try if you have like Tong Tong and just spam the shit out of Tong Tong. Ardelia, I don't know, maybe, but like you already have like a nature character, and like Ardelia like setup takes quite some time. I guess you could use it if you like really want it, if you really need like some extra healing and you're like a free to play. Avelena, she's electric like sub DPS, main DPS, she like collects the electric stuff. I think could work, but like I think Avelena will like probably need some other like character to help her. Estella is a physical like cryo infliction, probably no. Snowshine is just a snow shield, so don't need to use her. Amber is like physical vulnerabilities type of character. Arknight, I think you need a team. You need someone else to like have like trigger electrification, so probably not using Arknight. Eyelash is like a physical blot. I do think you could use some Vanguard, but like you could just use Ake or Camille. And if you don't have Camille, just use Ake Curry. So not much room for Eyelash, so don't need to pay too much attention. Ake Curry definitely works if you have Wolfguard and Ake Curry. Both of them, they just help Arcane immediately. So if you have Ake Curry, you can just build Ake Curry. All you need is her ultimate and skill. This is probably one of the rare times they actually use like Ake Curry's skill, which is quite funny. And then Anto, he buffs heat and electric, so I guess you're not going to use him with Arcane, but he could work. He could like put his like battle skill, and then you apply nature, and then you get to get another free nature infliction. But his ultimate is like completely wasted, so they're probably not gonna use Anto. You already have Fluorite. They say Arcane actually helps Fluorite a lot because they group them all together, and then Fluorite ultimate just go nature infliction all over the screen. So Fluorite could be a good option, but you don't need to invest too much. If you look at my Fluorite build, did not invest any of these. Definitely will try. Arcane just has like a lot of teams, and her kit is like kind of confusing. And as you can see, she just works with like quite a lot of characters. And the last 3 characters, all of them, she don't really work with. It's all like physical characters, so don't need to cross these out. So look at the amount of characters that she could like work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know about Zhang. I guess she can. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's a lot of characters. I have not seen any other people talking about any other like special teams for now. So right now, I would say just focus on building Saihi, and then just get your Wolfguard to Ake Curry to some bare minimum. And then just wait and see which characters you have and which characters are going crazy on social media or whatever. We'll update on this soon when Arcane actually release. And leave a comment down below what y'all think, and I'll see y'all next time.